Blessed evening, collective. I was not planning on pulling a reading today, just basking in being, but a wave of energy came through quite intensely a few minutes ago. There is no time in energy, of course, but it is being experienced now in the present moment. And curiously, it is a nostalgia energy. It is a wave of nostalgia, so it's a wave of past feeling energy that is being felt now. It is a little bit of deja vu. It's very familiar. It's been here before. It is coming back around on the merry-go-round and seeing the same point in the scenery that you have passed and realizing, waking up to it. It's a recognition of a cycle. It's a recognition of a chance, perhaps to get off that merry-go-round, perhaps to make a change, that this is the gate. This is the exit. The time is now to take this path, to make this choice. It is a very interesting sensation. There is anxiety attached to it. There's heaviness. I don't want to characterize it necessarily, but it is tension, for sure. And for my part, I am simply open to the experience of what is, and this is what is. If there's resistance to what is, that is suffering, and I am creating no more suffering for myself. In so doing, there is no more suffering created for other self. This is my devotion, this is my path and my pleasure, and I'm excited. And I want to pull on this because it is quite curious. And it is curious to note, as came into recollection, this is the time period 1 year prior, one solar rotation prior, when things really kicked off in my life experience on this path. We may be coming up on the annual of the creation of this channel, even. The channel existed, but the beginning of the documentation of this journey, of this experience, the documentation of the pulling of tarot cards on energy, all of the above. And so, what an interesting place to be on this merry-go-round, and feeling that this consciousness is not on the ride. It is watching the merry-go-round go round, and feeling simultaneously the perspective of another consciousness, self, that is still twirling around, and perhaps even making eye contact as it passes, and coming to awareness. There is a light, there is a realization taking place. This is just the description of the energy. What's in the cards? The right moment. It's not a Seven of Pentacles. This is a strange feeling for this card. It's don't want to miss the right time. It's we've missed the right time before. We have been here before. The time was right. The energy was aligned. There was an opportunity previously. Now there's a recognition of it's come around again. Have we missed it? We don't want to miss it. Last time we weren't looking. We were focused elsewhere, perhaps diligently, perhaps intentionally, perhaps with the intention of distracting from this. Now there is something different. What's underneath? I can't make this up. It was something in the past. We missed this before. We missed this the last time around. The last time around, we were focused elsewhere. We were not open to receiving it. This time, well, I mean, it's come back around. It's taken some time, but it is come back around again, and it is obvious. It's obvious as a hand floating in the sky with a giant coin. There's that Seven of Pentacles. The universe is so sublime, truly. I mean, the time is here. We missed it before. Have we missed it again? We want to be open to it this time because Suddenly there is a realization. Suddenly there is a new understanding. Suddenly we see it. It's as if we hadn't seen this before. We were looking all around it. Now it's here. It's plain as day. There it is. And what's underneath that? Yep, there is a chance. There is a chance to make a new decision. The Ace of Wands. It can stay lit or it can be put out. Last time, we weren't paying attention and the wand went out. This time, there's a chance for something else, something real. Instead of staying still, instead of staying on the cycle, on the merry-go-round, continuing this ride, we can get off. We can make a new move, a new choice. Just pulling a little further into the energy. We're past the pre-shuffle now, but I mean, that kind of wraps it all up. What is this new choice? To depart, to get off the ride, to move towards something else, something that is desired. And on top, 2 cards, the Wheel of Fortune and the Page of Cups. New love, new expression, realizing something and wanting to express towards it. There is apology in this energy. There is the sense of, I can't believe I missed it before. We've been on this cycle. We've been on this merry-go-round. We have gone round this point before. It's returned, but it's new. It's a new version. It is, there is something fresh. There is something different. There's just this realization. The chance is now. The time is now. What we have been working towards actually is this. Last time we were working against it. This time we want to work towards it. We're realizing this whole time we've been working towards it. Very interesting. And in full disclosure, I mean, memories, all of a sudden, memories of this time last year have flooded in. And memories of the very person who sort of initiated this journey. I had a breakup with my partner of 10 years, yes. I went to see a therapist. I had a soul recognition with the therapist. I had never felt that before. I felt seen. I had a deep appreciation, still do, for her, for the conversations that we had, which were deeply philosophical on the nature of life, the nature of being. Since that time, my consciousness has expanded, my perspective has expanded. But I felt very strong things for her, strong feelings of love and attraction and appreciation. And as a result of that, I severed the connection. The choice was made. And she asked me to stop contacting her, which I appreciated and did. And that began this journey. And she has come to mind a number of times, fondly, in the past several days. Just appreciation for the sparking, for the light which was ignited within me, for the whole of this experience, which played out exactly as it was intended, for the highest good, if not for everything that has happened in the entirety of my life experience. Looking back, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be experiencing the joy of being. Consciousness would not be in this place where it is perceiving itself and the delight of that, and expressing, articulating as it so desires to. So there is great appreciation for all of this. But I digress. We are here to pull on the nostalgia energy. Whatever energy is present at this moment is a part of embracing this moment fully. A card has jumped out. It's not flipped yet. We'll see what it is. Why are we here? The Magician. It's a change. It's time. It's a chance for something to be released. It is karmic energy. It is a cycle that can be changed. It's time. Last time there was overthinking, and in large part, this is what we are trying to release. We are trying to free consciousness from the identification with mind, from the compulsive thinking, from overthinking, from the trap that ego lays for consciousness to say, keep dwelling on this, keep thinking on this, think your way through this. This is a problem, you must solve it with thinking. All of that is a trap. All of that is a trap. And the only way out of that trap is to see that it's a trap, that there is nowhere to go. There, it is a bottomless pit. It is a merry-go-round. There is one way off the merry-go-round. You just get off. You don't keep going round. That's not the exit. You stop. You get off. You don't stop the train, you get off the train. In a big way, that is what is trying to come to fruition here. That is the karmic cycle that is endeavoring to be released, to come to balance. It's just no more thinking. Stop thinking. What's the card that jumped out? Because I'm curious. Oh, look at that. It's both of them. They fell out together just in the shuffling. How cool is that? And they're reversed now. And what's the deck breaking on? Because it wants to break. An 8 of Wands. Yeah. It's a new perspective. It is a new desire. It's just new. We're under new energy. When this happened before, it wasn't what it is now. There is new understanding, particularly of this, of how this stands in the way. It's not about a specific result. It's about releasing the overthinking. And there's a lot of pain attached, certainly. Realizing, has it been this long and there is still pain? That type of feeling. I'm not attaching this to anyone specifically. It's just what the energy is here. That's it. Has it been this long that I have been on this ride, repeating these thoughts, repeating this self-doubt, failing to take some form of action, continuing the identification with mind, the obsession, the compulsive thinking, this pattern, all of it? Has it been this long that I haven't made the change but been wanting to? Have I been suffering this long? I am perpetuating this suffering. There is this realization of, it's been this long. I have put up with this for this long within myself, and I am the one who can choose to stop it at any moment. Why am I continuing this? I can make this change. I have the power. I have the tools. I am capable of this. Yeah, I'm capable of this. There's a victory waiting for me. A long hidden one, a hard fought one that I can just claim. I don't have to fight anymore for it. I can just claim victory. I can just get off this ride. I can just stop participating in this game where no one wins. It's underneath that, justice. Yeah, I can grant this for myself. The energy is trying to come to balance, and it's making sense. It's this new understanding, this new perspective. Suddenly it makes sense. I see how I have perpetuated this cycle for myself. I have created suffering for myself. I have put myself out of balance. I have kept myself from joy, from victory, from that which is desired, which really is balanced energy, ultimately. Not a specific thing, it's just the balance of energy. And I have the choice. It is my energy. I am in complete control of that. I can stop putting it out of balance today. I can create no more suffering for myself and begin alleviating what I have put out of balance by expressing openly, honestly, by feeling, by embracing what is here, embracing all that I am feeling, all of the emotion, the thought even. The mind is not a problem. I can simply let it be as it is. And then there is victory. When there is no resistance, all is well. There is no suffering when there is no resistance. Already the cards are jumping out. Okay. Yeah, that's it. It's a very brief shuffle. One shuffle. New energy, new cycle. We've been on this cycle. It's time for a change. Why? What's the card that jumped out? It's time to pick. It's time to choose. We have a new option. Oh, there's two. I didn't even realize. Look at that. It's the it's Two of Swords. We're here. We're here. We're at the crossroads. We have a choice. This is the time. This is that point on the ride. You're on, what is it? The Ferris wheel. You're at the ground now. You can't get off anyplace else. We've been on this Ferris wheel for quite some time. We're getting a little nauseous. To be honest, we really would like to get off. We just hadn't been conscious enough to realize it. Now we're here. We're at the ground. The ride controller says, do you want to get off or do you want to go around for another ride? We have the chance. We are feeling quite strongly about speaking and saying, I would like to get off now, please. I'm getting off now. I am no longer on this ride. I'm curious what's under the world. What's under that? I'm getting off. There we go. I'm getting off. We'd been holding on to this. We had been stuck in this. Stuck going around and around and around, stuck in the same cycle, kicked back again and again. This time, we're awake enough to realize we have to let go of something. There is a key piece of clarity, piece of information that is being expressed and felt in the self, and it's unlocked because we're in this new energy. Now we are in the place where we can have this realization. Now that we have this realization, we can express this. We can make a new choice. We can get off the ride now. Yeah, several cards are going to come back because there was not much of a shuffle, but this is what it is. We want this. All of the blue, too. All of the blue. A desire to express. We're feeling this blue and green and yellow. We're feeling this. We want to make a choice. And that choice involves opening up, being honest, expressing something. Not to anyone specifically. I'm not pulling into that. It's just what's here. We've gone around and around. It is literally the feeling of saying to the conductor, perhaps he doesn't ask, you have to flag him down. You know, you're going around and around. He's just going to assume you want to go for another ride unless you go, hey, excuse me, I'm getting off now. Stop the ride. You have to make the choice to speak up because you feel strongly you don't want to repeat this again. You would like to move on to something else. What's in the soul? Yeah, Page of Cups, which means that Wheel of Fortune is probably underneath it. We'll see. This is what the soul wants. The soul wants something new related to an emotional expression. There's an apology here. It is kind of a waking up and going, I can't believe I did that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I missed you. It is that kind of energy of, hey, I'm so sorry I missed you. I was unconscious. I was asleep. Again, not attaching this to anyone or thing specifically. This is just the energy. I'm sorry I missed you. I'm sorry I missed the chance last time, but I wasn't available. I was asleep. I wasn't aware. I wasn't there. Actually, that wasn't even me. I wasn't there. Now I'm here. And I want to speak up. I want to share something. I want to express this. I want to say thank you. I want to offer some appreciation. Yeah. Hidden energy. Oh. See, the cards did rearrange themselves. 7 of Wands. This whole time. I haven't been able to stop thinking about it this whole time. I have never been able to look away. We're looking directly at these 2 swords. These are the 2 swords right here, right? That we're looking at. The realization of this is rather overwhelming. No, it doesn't make sense. It hasn't made sense to me. And I kept pushing it away because it was confusing and too much. And so I just kept kind of picking the same thing. I kept picking what was familiar, what was easy, what made sense to the mind. But what made sense to the mind isn't making sense to the heart. And that's become abundantly clear. It's just suddenly so clear. Suddenly I get it. I get how I've been deceiving myself. I get how I have been looking away from the truth. the emotional truth, the feeling truth, the truth that my heart, that my soul was expressing, that it wanted new, it wanted something else, that it wasn't, it wanted what it wanted, right? And that's the thing to listen to. It doesn't have to make sense to the mind. It's really not supposed to. It transcends the mind, the feeling, the soul. It speaks through feeling, and it speaks on a level that the mind cannot reach. The mind is a 3-4 dimensional thing. The soul is omnidimensional. It is higher dimensional. It speaks in a way that transcends thought. It is pure feeling. And this is being seen. There's another piece to this, but what's the final outcome position? Yeah. It's 5 of Wands. There's a conflict. There's still conflict here. It's a bunch of nonsense. It is resolvable conflict, and there's a desire to resolve it. But this will take some clarification that I wasn't actually anticipating pulling. So now I have to get a different deck. Because that's what's happening. And it's the animals today. Pardon the wiggliness. Okay. I'm doing this quickly because now this makes sense. I wasn't anticipating this. And that's just what it is. The devil. I had forgotten this was there. And there's 5 swords. And the 10 of Wands. This is a tremendous burden that this hasn't happened. There's a lot of sadness here. It is an obsessive energy. There is a lot of self-doubt and self-judgment and guilt, absolutely, which is a part of this sort of apology and a part of the conflict. There is harshness on the self for having missed this, for possibly missing it again, a fear that it is too late, a realization that someone else has moved on, a realization that there was a chance and that now this energy is being moved on from, in essence, due to inaction, due to analysis paralysis, due to unconsciousness. Nothing has ever gone wrong, nor can it possibly. All is exactly as all it should be. But there's a lot of guilt here. Yeah, and a lot of feeling. And a start again, can we start again kind of energy of that. This time I'm lighting the wand. The emotions are keeping it lit. They are here, they're flowing. There's this new understanding. It is that heightened emotional intelligence and the realization that this just feels right and it hasn't stopped feeling right. And the more right that this feels, even though we've tried to repress it, in particular because the more right this feels, the more wrong other things feel. It just highlights that the contrast increases. And that's been a big part of trying to push it away. But we're seeing now that hurts. That is keeping us stuck. The feelings are there to be felt and followed. They're there to guide us. They're there to be listened to. If something doesn't feel right, and I don't mean scary, I don't mean it feels like fear. I mean if it feels not good, doesn't feel right to you, that's an indication not to continue that thing. Just that. That's it. There is no more detail in it than that. There is no more meaning than that, but that's all the information you need. It's not a judgment. It's not an indictment. It's not that this is a bad thing. It's just not that thing. That's not your thing. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feed your soul. So do the thing that feeds your soul. Follow the thing that feels good. Let's clarify. Tell me about this 2 of Swords, 7 of Cups here. We've made the same choices again and again and again. And now that's being shown to us, and it's being made very clear that we are the ones who must make a different choice. The cards are coming out. There's the Queen of Pentacles, and the card that fell out is the Queen of Wands. This is what's been guiding us. This is what we have chosen in the past, to stay small, to stay hidden, to stay guarded, to keep the guard up, rather than following what felt good. And this feels good. And there's that Ace of Pentacles. This is what's kept us stuck. We're seeing, the boundary is the burden. The guardedness has been there for so long that it's made us, it's unconscious. This is an unconscious habit. We are realizing the resistance right now. We're recognizing, oh my God, I've been pushing things away. I've been pushing all kinds of things away. I've been pushing opportunities away, people away, emotions away, feelings, thoughts. I've been pushing stuff away. I've been pushing my own guidance away because of that. When you close your heart, you close down that which is able to receive. You close down the voice of your soul. You close down presence. You close down your connection to yourself, to life. You cease being able to sense into presence and feel the abundance and the wellness of yourself. And all of the joy and the good feeling is there. All of the life is there. All of you is there. When you shut down your connection to yourself, you feel separate from, and it's exhausting. It's tiring. It doesn't feel good. We're realizing we shut that down. We're the ones who shut down the connection to self, to source, to divine, to all that is. And we can make the choice now, right now. Now is the time. It is the only time. And now is the time to make the choice to open up to that again, to return home, to the present, to ourselves, to alignment, what's on top. This is deeply spiritual. It's time to come home. It's the Hierophant. This is a long-standing pattern. This is what we've been missing all along. We've been doing this. We've been repeating this cycle of self-rejection. Rejection of what is, rejection of what is within, all of it. Out of fear, out of following the status quo, falling in line, these kinds of things. And where has that left us? In deep pain, in deep dissatisfaction, alone, feeling separate from, feeling cut off from life, which is us. We're awake to this now. This is an epiphany. This is a spiritual realization. I have the power now to reconnect with myself, my soul, with life, with all that is. And I do that by releasing the resistance, by not resisting anymore to everything, all resistance, resistance to what is occurring around me, resistance to what is occurring within me, sensationally. Clarity. There's great clarity here. Now is the time. It's time to make a new choice. I feel this profoundly. The choice has been made to create no more suffering. To create no more suffering, no more pain, no more identification with mind, no more characterization of problem, no more judgment. To maintain awareness, to return to the present moment, because this is where it's at. This is all of it. It's all that is wanted, is all that is desired. Everything is here. This is all. It's the point, it's the pinnacle. And the choice has been made. Cards jumping out. We're clarifying the Six of Wands. There's a tongue-tied energy here too. Not sure how to go about this, how to approach this, not sure what to say. But my God, it's bursting out of us. Absolutely. And the realization now is the time. There is a renewal. There is a rebirth to this. What's underneath? Yeah, now is the time. Again, to come in, to get off the merry-go-round, to do this differently. in the traditional Rider way, this is those people passing a window, right? There's a door on either side. They've passed those doors over and over and over. Now they have the choice, they have the realization, they have the wherewithal, the awareness to say, I'm going in. I am going in this time because it makes sense. because it's getting through. The feeling is so overpowering of this, do this, do this. It's such a strong sensation. It's beyond the mind. It is energy coming to balance. It's just the time is right for this. What's read with Temperance? There's that Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, do this. Do this. It's time to go get some milk. The baby fawn, when it is thirsty, it doesn't think about it. It doesn't question it. It doesn't say, well, maybe I should go do this, or I don't really feel like it, or I don't know where mom is. Maybe I can just wait a little longer. No, there's no question. There's not even any really emotion around it. It's just an urge. It is just a pure feeling. The fawn feels thirsty. It goes to mother. It starts to drink. There's nothing extra to that process. There's no characterization of, oh, it's a problem that I feel thirsty. Oh no, this is bad. Oh, if I don't drink, then I'll perish. There's none of that. There is no suffering in the thirsty fawn recognizing it has thirst and going to mama deer for some milk. It just flows. It just makes sense. It doesn't it doesn't question. There's no brain involved. Yeah, this just makes sense. It's time. We want to get off the ride. We want some soul nourishment. We want to make a new choice. We want to make the choice to listen to the soul, to receive all of this. Tell me about the Page of Cups. Tell me about this Page of Cups. Thirsty. Thirsty. I'm just going to say that. Take that as you will. See what comes out here. The soul is thirsty, and I have dropped a card. So we stop shuffling. Thirsty. King of Cups. Wanting to give. Realizing this was not expressed. And there's just this radical impulse. It just suddenly it feels good. Suddenly what was scary and what felt safer and sort of better because it was safe to hold on to, suddenly that doesn't make sense anymore. That does not feel good. What feels good is to give this. What's on top? Yeah, the Three of Cups. Open flow. All cups. Thirsty. Suddenly the emotion makes sense to flow. Suddenly it's like, oh my God, yes, I flow emotion. That feels good to me. I do the thing that feels good to me. It's just the brain is left out. When you leave the mind aside, it all makes sense and you flow with it, and there's no question, there's no suffering, there's no second guessing, there's no doubt. You feel there is no doubt. You feel that doubt itself is an illusion. It's not even a real thing. It's a concept. It's made up. Doubt doesn't exist. It's just an idea. It's not an idea you have to believe in. You can stop believing in doubt. You can make that choice today. King of Pentacles. Yeah. It's a new choice. It just makes sense. It's if you see a rainbow buck walking through the forest, you do something. I'm not saying you shoot it, but you take a shot, right? You take a picture, you do something. You don't just go, I'll see another one, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of far away. I'd have to get up and walk towards it, and I'm comfortable here. No. You recognize this is one of a kind. This is once in a lifetime. Golden opportunity. This only comes around once in a lifetime. And last time we missed it. And oh my God, it's here again. Oh my God, and I recognize it this time. I see it. Last time I didn't see this. This is that Ace of Pentacles that I missed it. I wasn't aware. I wasn't there. I'm sorry I missed you. Now I'm here. You're here. Let me open up. Let me give to this. Suddenly that makes sense. Suddenly that feels good. And it feels good in a self-satisfying way, a soul-satisfying way. It's not about you. It's, I mean, you're great and I want to express that, but I want to express it because it feels right. Yes, it feels right to me. It's satisfying to me to share this. In fact, it would be deeply unsatisfying not to. And that's a big part of this drive, because I'm realizing I haven't expressed like this. I haven't been open and vulnerable and honest with myself, with other people. That's been an unconscious pattern in me for a long time. What feels good is recognizing that and making a different choice, choosing something else. Now, we are getting off the ride of unconscious pretension and defensiveness, the ride of resistance. We are no longer resistant to this flow, the flow of feeling, the flow of emotion, the flow of truth. Realizing the balance is found in that, and balance feels good. Balanced energy feels good. It is good feeling. And we have complete control over that. We can choose non-resistance, which means we flow with the energy, which means it's always coming to balance. And then we just keep feeling good. And more good. And more good. We actually don't have to suffer. Yes, there's contrast, which is always just an opportunity to expand and clarify desire and experience more non-resistance, more clarity, more expansion of consciousness, more ease of flow, more good feeling. Talking about the Seven of Swords, it's balanced energy. It's justice. It's time for this to be delivered. We have been keeping ourselves from receiving justice, from receiving what was asked for. We ask for justice. Justice is right. You know, it is what is deserved, and we feel we deserve it. And now we're recognizing we've been the ones keeping the justice away, and we have the ability to choose now to let this in. What's on top? It's the Emperor. Red with the Queen of Wands. Yeah. All of the power is in relinquishing control. This is our choice. This is the choice we can make. This is the control that we have. The control over our resistance to the flow or our allowance of the flow. Our resistance to the feeling or our allowance of the feeling. Our resistance to what is or allowance of what is. Recognizing we've been lying to ourselves this whole time. We're actually in power, not the way that we've been exercising the power. That's been an illusion. That's been a bunch of bullshit. The trying to force, the trying to push away, the control by resistance, control by rejection, by manipulation, that's not control. That means those things control us. Our true control, our true power lies not in the forcing away, but in the flowing with, in the allowance, in dropping the guard, in releasing the resistance. Now is the time to release resistance. There's that Two of Swords again. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. Now is the time to drop the guard, to release resistance. And I just am struck by the match of the sun on this. We couldn't see it before. We missed this before, and now we're recognizing that we missed it before. We're recognizing we didn't see it before because we couldn't, because we weren't there. We weren't conscious. We didn't have the presence and the awareness to realize it. Now we're realizing it. This is the time right now to make a different choice. That choice is releasing resistance. This is resistance in the final outcome. It's very weak. Five of Wands, not a strong energy. Easily moved past. So why is it here? Let's clarify it. Why is this Five of Wands here? This is the resistance. I believe, I feel we're moving past it. We're making the choice to follow the soul, to follow the feeling, to openly express that, to allow it to be. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. The lover. What did I just say? The choice. This is the choice. This is the choice. This is the name of this card in a lot of decks. It is the choice that is made by the universe. It is the choice that is made by the higher self. And the choice is for healing. Healing happens as a result of allowing feeling, of expressing truth, of allowing the feeling to be there, of engaging non-resistance. For making the choice, what wants to reveal itself, to let it out, to let it surface, to let that which we have been repressing, resisting, pushing down, pushing away, hiding from ourselves and others, come to the surface. What's on top? 10 of Cups. It's happy. It's Minor Arcana Sun. With Temperance here. Temperance, didn't I just have a reading where Temperance and the 10 of Cups were read together? It makes this real. Suddenly this makes sense. Suddenly this feels so right. It's not some fantasy. It's not a fairy tale. It's real. It's possible. And actually it's what we intend to follow. It's the dreaming makes sense. The dreaming is real. There's a lot to this. Realization that feeling is how we manifest. And we recognize a manifestation that we have created, we have asked for by the way it feels. It feels right. That is a thing that you have asked for and received. But last time we didn't receive it. We've been pushing out our own manifestations because we were afraid, because we haven't been awake and aware, because we've been shutting down feeling. When you're shutting down the feeling, you can't recognize your own manifestation. I mean, we're manifesting everything all of the time. All of physical reality is a continuous manifestation. But it's the recognition that I did something good. I did something that I wanted. I created something. I asked. It was delivered. This was what I wanted. But I didn't receive it last time. I didn't receive it because I wasn't awake. I wasn't paying attention. I had shut down the feeling. I was rejecting all of the feeling. I was following ego. I was following mind. I was